Good player, too.
Great player when healthy, but it's been a little bit of a rough start for the Phoenix Suns, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continues tonight, although no cheap price to lay with San Antonio. -7 on the highway is, a little bit pricey, given, the Spurs aren't winning games easily by big margin.
No, they're Popoviching their way to victories. Yeah. They really are. Tomorrow, it gets started here in Las Vegas. It's our annual PGA event, the Shriners Hospital for Children Open at TPC Summerlin. I made 3 bets.
Nice.
3 win bets, so I will give those out here. And if you want to follow me, that's fine. And if you don't want to, that's fine, too. I don't spend a lot of time on this stuff, so they're guesses. If they're... I won't even call them educated guesses. I would call them like kindergarten level education.
Well, yes and no, because one of the things that you do, David, and I find myself not giving myself any credit for it either. When you're making a gut level decision on something, or you're looking down and say, "Hey, this doesn't look right. That doesn't look right." You're doing it as a guy who's been in the business. Yeah. I mean, you were in this business when I was born. I'm 50. You've been in this business for, there's a lot of stuff.
No, I wasn't in the business at 15, all right? Well, actually, I was on the other side of the counter. But...
Exactly. You were in the business when I was born.
I was running
you were running a high school
phones.
book. I'm sure you were.
I did. Ran an attendance pool that I came up with myself in high school and ended up getting a brand new Impala out of it.
Very nice.
Much money I made on that thing.
But what I'm saying is that your educated guess is worth something. Your gut reaction is worth something.
Well, I have 3 educated guesses.
Go. What do we got?
Gary Woodland, who's playing great.
Oh, I hate that bet. I'm kidding.
Plus, I used the Westgate, I used the Superbook USA numbers.
Yes.
Plus 1,800. Okay, you can find better numbers if you shop around, but these are fair prices. Mm-hmm. Plus 1,800 on Woodland. And then I went with the local flavor. Guys who know how to play desert golf and who I think are in reasonably good form coming in. Former UNLV star Ryan Moore at 30-1. And local resident Scott Piercy at 40-1.
Right, and you can find individual matchups on each of those cappers as well. Woodland's in a couple of matchups. I'm looking now at, you say Neiman? No. Moore?
Ryan Moore.
Moore, yeah. Moore, you can find him in basically a pick-em price range against Hostler.
Bo Hostler's a tough opponent.
And same story with Piercy against Dame. Woodland, I'm seeing -145-ish against Wise.
He's going to be a popular choice. And I know Jeff Sherman was on yesterday and mentioned that as soon as they put the golf odds up, they took a decent-sized wager on Woodland to win. So somebody out, and it wasn't mine, okay? So somebody else out there likes him. Anyway, those are 3 guys for the Shriners Hospital for Children Open. And by the way, nice weather coming up this weekend.
Sure.
It's a good field. You got Ricky Fowler's playing, DeChambeau's playing, Jordan Spieth is playing. So this is your chance to get out there. I'm not going to BS anybody. It doesn't sound like you're going to have overflow crowds this week. I think the ticket sales have not been quite what they'd hoped for. It's tough going up against the NFL and the Golden Knights and a bunch of other stuff.
Sure.
But if you want to go out there and see some of the best golfers in the world and really nice surroundings, great golf course, head out to TP Summerlin and check out the guys. Could be some fun. All right, let us go to the college football playoff rankings, which are now out. And the first thing that struck me is they did a good job from a political standpoint with LSU, putting them in the number 3 spot, because if LSU wins this weekend, if they pull the upset against Alabama, the committee will say, see, we're geniuses. And if they don't, they'll just drop them out of there and move Michigan, and after Michigan gets rid of Penn State. Sure. I do use these ratings for different things.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking for teams that might feel some undue pressure. I'm looking for teams that might feel they need to get some style points if they're in that 7 or 8 range where they've got to impress the committee to move up. And I'm also looking at teams who get their dreams shattered with a bad performance, because very often they will come out the next week dead flat. Now that these rankings are out and they see them, and it can ruin, the dream can grow up in smoke with one bad effort. So those are things I look for. I don't use them at all in terms of accurately gauging a strength or weakness of a team. They don't know what they're looking at.
Of course not. I mean, your power ratings are better than this. My power ratings are better than this. This is the way the average Joe is going to look at college football. The average Joe doesn't beat college football. The way to beat college football is you put your time in, and you understand the nuances of these games, and the rankings don't understand any of that. So my reaction to the college football playoff ranking, especially the first one, I couldn't ignore it more. There's nothing. I don't even think the players care yet. They care, but are they really worried about this in October? No.
I would hope not. They shouldn't be. But sometimes I wonder if they are, because they get wrapped up into this stuff, and maybe it can have more of an impact than it should. I mean, if you're number 5, Michigan right now, Michigan's probably saying, well, wait a minute, why aren't we in the top 4?
Sure. If you're in the top 8, all right, maybe you say, sorry, that the team's going to look at it. When you start looking, all right, well, here's West Virginia at 13.
No, that far down, no.
Utah at 15, or Syracuse at 19. How about Iowa State at number 24?
Do you ever think you see that? And by the way, they belong in there someplace. They're a pretty good team.
They're a 3-loss team.
I know, but they're pretty good.
A&M at 20, a 3-loss team. Mississippi State at 18. None of these teams are getting to the playoffs.
They have no chance. They're just there as filler.
Exactly. There's very little point to this other than to generate ratings for ESPN, which is what it's designed to do.
I do want to see. Now, it's going to be tough to read this week because I don't know if Milton's going to play or not for Central Florida. But if there's a team that, and you could have your own opinion on whether Central Florida belongs in the top 4 or not, it doesn't matter. They think they belong, and they could be very insulted by what they are perceiving. And I think to some extent they're right, as a complete lack of respect. The problem is their quarterback, who is a terrific player, he's hurt.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's playing this week against Temple. It's still day-to-day. Last I checked, which was this morning. If anything new has come out, I'm not unaware of it.
Money is coming in on UCF as we speak.
Okay, well, that may be an indication that he's going to play.
Tends to indicate that there are people out there that think Mackenzie Milton is going to be the starting quarterback for the Knights. But, I mean, even with that being said, I'm seeing some 11.5s out there right now. Which
It's a lot of points against Temple.
Temple's no joke. What are they, 5-1 straight up, 6-0 against the spread?
They managed to beat Cincinnati in a game in which they played horribly, and I had Temple, so that's a fair assessment. And Russo, the quarterback, could not have been worse, and they still found a way to win the game.
But I mean, Temple's offense is Armstead left, Armstead right, Armstead up the middle, and Armstead is officially listed as questionable for this game as well.
It's the same as it's very close to the Dillon BC situation. They've got other guys that can put out there. But the difference maker is definitely Armstead for Temple. He's the most important guy in the team.
Sure, and you talked about this last week. I'm like, one running back's the same. You're like, no, Dillon's different. And we saw that very clearly in BC's Friday night win over Miami.
Who scares the crap out of the other team's defense. So does Armstead. Nobody else on the Temple offense does.
Sure, but UCF probably does come into this game with a chip on their shoulder. That being said, I don't have them ranked as the 12th best team in college football.
I've got them, I think I've got them 17.
Yeah, it's maybe 20th, 25th.
No, I think they're better than that.
I mean,
17, I think, is, a fair enough rating.
UConn, South Carolina State, Florida Atlantic, Pitt, SMU, Memphis, ECU. I know
they haven't beaten anybody.
I mean, I know you can only play the teams that are on your schedule, but this is the toughest team they face this year.
Yes, it is.
But Temple's faced a tougher slate than they have.
Let's touch on college basketball for a moment because it starts with just this ridiculous slate next week. It's
Here we go.
143 games. So, look, you're going to have to watch the teams as much as you can and try and learn stuff. But
stop for a minute. Is it the first day 143 games?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, not all of them.
I haven't looked yet.
It's just this endless array of games.
Sure.
Here's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Michaels put together a college football guide.
Oh, boy.
College basketball guide. Yeah. He put together a college football guide as well, but it's of no use in basketball, okay? So he decided that he'd put together a college basketball guide. The only thing I've seen, and my apologies if anybody else has got one out there that I'm missing, but aside from Blue Ribbon, this is the most extensive college basketball guide that's out there. And from a navigation standpoint, it's better than Blue Ribbon because Blue Ribbon's got like 3-page write-ups for every team, and you have to, they've got paragraphs on every player. It's incredibly good stuff. But in terms of being able to glance at it and come up with something, it's a little tougher. Ralph's got, he's got you set for the start of the college basketball season with numbers, coaching changes, returning starters, and it's all set up so it's really easy to read and digest, and it's free. It's ridiculous. I honestly, look, I work with Wager Talk, but I'm not on the board of directors. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's no way I'm giving this away for nothing. I am serious. I would not do it. I'd charge something, but they're not. So you go to the website. If you want to play college basketball at the outset next week, put some bullets in your holster. Well, you can't put bullets. Yeah, you can put bullets in the holster. Right, yeah.
That's what you were trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you should do.
You want to chamber some stuff here? What are we doing?
No, I'll go with bullets in the holster.
Okay, good.
Bullets in the chamber or whatever. I don't know. It's just go to wagertalk.com and search out the college basketball guide. Then you download it, you put it in the cart, and then you check out, and that's it. It doesn't cost anything.
Sure. Well, handicappers go crazy in the month of November because there's too much going on.
Yes.
You have NFL.
So what do you
do? College football. You have NBA. You have NHL. You have college hoops. This is what I do. I ignore college hoops completely until after Thanksgiving. Don't even look at it. And once that happens, to me, every year I come out of the gate, and I tend to do very, very well out of the gate because what you've seen is these power ratings cement off of the Thanksgiving tournaments, and you have these teams that are wildly overvalued and wildly undervalued after a series of preseason tournaments that do not necessarily reflect how good they are. And my whole strategy early on, the first couple of weeks, is you want to bet on some teams that look bad in the Thanksgiving tournaments that are actually good teams, and bet against some teams that look good in the Thanksgiving tournaments that are actually not quite so good. And that strategy works, man. That strategy works year in, year out. So I don't look at college hoops. I don't get into it in a real way until after I've eaten the bird.
Now, I'm not doing the NBA.
Right.
So I have a little more time to do college basketball. But my first 2 to 3 weeks will be all information-based.
Yeah.
This is something where, there's a lot of things I like about getting old. But one of the real good things is, geez, I know everybody. Okay, I got some really good contacts in different sectors of the country, and I can't say it's every conference, but West Coast Conference, Big Sky, obviously the Mountain West. I get good information, and I've got some. My Ivy League connections are still there from way back when,
back in the day,
and I'll be looking to focus on information that I get regarding teams coming out of those conferences, and that's probably all I'll do early on.
It's hard. I mean, and I see so many guys, not just the professional cappers, amateur bettors, the people who are listening to us right now. November gets to be too much. There's too much. You cannot possibly try to handicap 4 or 5 sports at one time at a high level. It cannot be done.
No.
So,
and even if you get by doing so, you're probably screwing yourself because you're not getting the max out of your effort.
No,
that's my opinion.
Okay, I mean the concept of I just finished this work, now I'm going to go do that work. I finished that work, now I'm going to do the next work, and that'll work for a week. You can do that for a week.
It's drained.
It doesn't work for 6 weeks.
No.
You just get gassed. I want to note the game we talked about earlier is getting steamed as we speak. Lots of money coming in on Toledo right now. I'm seeing 19.5 out there in a game that was 18 when we got on the air.
Man, bet it and forget it, guys. Go have a good time with that one. I will be. I guess I don't know. No, I'm actually going to go out and get some seafood tonight. I probably won't be watching anything.
Seafood. Shut up.
You gotta have.
You're going to eat 3 Musketeers all. You're going to be answering the door and give the kids 1 and 2 for you and 1 for the kids and 2 for you. I'll see you on Friday. You'll be 8 pounds heavier.
I'm leaving the hall light off. I am. I do that. I'm not home. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Patrick Everson will get us up to speed with everything that's happening on the LV Strip.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
Miller Lite, along with Terrible Herbst, is your headquarters for all your football game day essentials. Pick up your snacks and an ice-cold 18-pack of Miller Lite just in time to catch all the action. Miller Lite and Terrible Herbst are sending you to Kansas City to see them take on Oakland December 30th. Stop by the Miller Lite Game Day Flyaway display at participating Terrible Herbst. Text in the short code, and you and a guest could be flying to Kansas City to catch the game, including hotel and airfare. For complete rules, go to lvsportsnetwork.com. It's a Game Day Flyaway, powered by Miller Lite, Terrible Herbst, and Finley Chevrolet, home of the... Woo!
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $500 million for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying.